Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Well, as many of you already heard, we are a proud dealer of Yeti coolers and drinkware. And lately, a lot of people have been asking me, what makes Yeti coolers and drinkware so special? Well, folks, I can tell you, it is the quality that goes into these Yeti coolers and drinkware that make them so special. And I thought I'd take advantage of the opportunity that we have to do a little experimenting with them. The first experiment involves the Yeti Colster, and what we're going to do is we're going to compare the Yeti Colster to a typical coaster that a lot of people have across the entire country and see how quickly that drink warms in each one of them. So let's check out the results. So as I mentioned on the intro, what we're going to do is we're going to test how cold the Yeti Colster keeps your pop or your beer compared to a typical coaster that a lot of people use across the entire country. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the temperature of the Cokes in each one of those coasters. And they were placed in the fridge so they're equal temperature, but just to verify that, we're going to put the thermometer in the first one and then compare it to the second one. And that way we'll get a good starting point. And you can see right now the temperature continues to drop. And we're roughly at about, let's say 48, 46, and continues to fall a little bit. So we'll call it about 46 degrees in the first one, and then we'll compare it to the second one here, and the regular coaster that a lot of people use, and you can see it's very comparable to each other. So what we'll do is we'll come back in another 30 minutes and give an update and see how the temperature changes. Okay, it's now 30 minutes later, and what we're going to do is compare the temperature of the Coke in each of the coasters. First we'll start with the typical cloth coaster that a lot of people use around the United States. And you see that's at about 56, 57 degrees. Now we'll check the temperature of the Coke in the Yeti cooler. $48 degrees, and so we'll check 30 minutes later, but right now there's about an 8-degree temperature difference within 30 minutes. Okay, in the continuation of this experiment, it's 30 minutes later. We'll take another temperature reading of the two cans. We'll first start with the Yeti, the Coke can in the Yeti cooler. See what the current temperature is. See it continue to fall. And it seems to be stabling off there roughly at about 50 degrees. So we'll check the temperature of the can, of the Coke can, in the regular or the typical koozie that a lot of people use. You can see the water temperature going up, continuing to go up. It's sitting at 60 degrees, so a difference of 10 degrees in another 30 minutes. So we'll take the last reading and we'll go from, let's say, 45 minutes from now and see what happens. Okay, we're 30 minutes later since the last test, and this is going to be the last test of this experiment. So let's go ahead and put the thermometer in the Coke that is in the typical coaster that people use. See, the temperature's gone up quite a bit since the last measurement. Seems like it's holding at about 72 to 74 degrees. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the temperature in the Coke that's in the Yeti Colster. See it dropping. Still dropping. 57. Seems like it's stabilizing now at about 56 degrees. Seems like it's falling a little bit more. is 55. So let's call it 55 degrees compared to the 76 degrees that you had in the traditional coaster. So obviously you can see the quality of a Yeti Colster. Well folks, there you've seen it. You've seen what makes Yeti products so special. In the span of 2 hours, you've seen the temperature difference between the Coke that was in the Yeti Colster and the coaster that you typically use or typically see across the entire country. Stop on by here at the store at Dakota Angler to pick up your Yeti Colster now before it's too late. At $29.99, it's a fantastic bargain, a great deal. So again, remember, Dakota Angler, your home of Yeti products. We'll see you next time. Take care.